Welcome to the Scotsman Rugby Show, and Happy New Year to you all. Welcome to the first programme of 2013, and in it we'll be looking back on some great tries from the past year. Roy Laidlaw answers our 5 quick questions, and we reflect on 1872 Cup success by Glasgow over Edinburgh in the festive derbies. We'll also be turning our spotlight on Aberdeen Grammar in the start of our new club features. But first, let's kick off with highlights from the annual Waverley Cup clash between Gala and Melrose, which was played on Boxing Day.
This is a big throw-in now for Gala. They go long, and this could be carried over the line, as you know. He's practically on the chalk line, and Gala trying to drive that ball over and get a good start here. The ball comes spurting out, but there was a hand in there, and it's a penalty. A quick tap and go. You can hear the crowd not happy with that, but it's certainly a penalty coming Gala's way. With only 2 and a bit minutes gone in the first half, Gala with a chance to put the first points on the board here at Netherdale. He's going to be in the 22-metre line here, Lee Miller, and that's a good strike from Lee Miller. Looks good, and it's over, and it's first blood to Gala in this Waverley Cup game here at Netherdale. We've played 3.5 minutes. It's Gala 3. He's carried that into his 22, I think, as he feeds the ball in Alan Eamond. Here he goes, Alan Eamond on the hoof, and off he goes down the stand side. Great run from Eamond. He's got support from Gavin Young. He kicks ahead, and it's Gavin Young chasing on tip, but Scott McCormack and Thompson on there. But what a run from Alan Eamond, just outside his own 22. Gala 3, Melrose 0, and it's the Gala pack in possession, and they're just nearing that try line. There's going to be a splinter away now. There is. Can they get the touchdown? They have. The ball fed it wide, and would you believe it? And it was George Graham, I think, crashing over, but he's lost it going forward, and it's going to be a scrum down. It will be a Melrose ball. It was a good splinter away. The ball was fed into George Graham, but great defence from Melrose. Lee Miller then lining up this penalty, and that looks good from here. Is it going to fall short? Is it going to go over? That's a great kick from Lee Miller. It's second penalty of the afternoon. Gala 6, Melrose 0. We're going to penalty, and I'm sure Andrew Skeen is going to kick to goal here. Takes his run up. That's certainly a good strike. Looks like he's nailed that one straight and true, and that will reduce the deficit here at Netherdale. It's now Gala 6, Melrose 3. Ball comes out wide, picked up now by Grant Runciman. Runciman off he goes, and he's away. Offload, nice wee offload to Joe Helps. Joe Helps in for Melrose, trying to cut in on that 22. Gets the ball away to Dale. Dale in, out to Thompson. Thompson takes the pass, and Thompson! You can hear the crowd there as Thompson, all he had to do was keep a hang, hauled off the ball, but I think some of his mates and the Gala seconds to my left-hand side cheering that, because he gathered it in, but then he lost it going forward, and he thought he was in for a try, but it's knocked on, and it's Gala 12. It remains Melrose 3, and that was just hard lines there from Fraser Thompson. Great move though. So Skeen with the strike. It's clean, it's straight, it's true, and it's between the uprights, and Melrose back in this game in this Waverley Cup at Netherdale. 22 minutes gone in the second half. It's Gala 12, Melrose 6. As Owenson feeds it back to Lee Miller outside his 22. Miller spots a wee gap. Oh, well looked after by Bruce Colvin, who feeds the ball into Andrew Letham. Letham back to Colvin. Colvin out to Richard Mill. Mill then has a look out, feeds it into Blair Hutchison. Oh, big hit comes in there. Oh, Craig Borthwick comes in. Yeah, that's going to be a card, I think. The referee, yeah, as the ball comes out. Melrose still playing it. Andrew Nagle feeds it into Johnson. Ball goes forward, and then, well,
definite card.
Yeah, as thought Martin Christie was away, but Craig Borthwick, it was a big hit. Could there be a card here with the final minute to go here? I'll tell you what, The Rock would have been proud of that one in the WWE, that's for sure. Yeah. And in fact, they've knocked the ball on here, Gala, and here come Melrose. Ball shipped inside, that's knocked on by Andrew Skeen. Referee, I'm sure, is going to see enough, and it's all over at Netherdale, and it's Gala who walk away victorious and will lift the Waverley Cup here. It's certainly not the prettiest of matches we've witnessed here at Netherdale this afternoon, but Gala will not worry a jot about that. The Waverley Cup heading to Netherdale and Gala. The final score here then, it finishes Gala 12, Melrose 6.
It's a tradition game between Gala and Melrose, and we have to turn up. And today's effort, I think we let ourselves down in a lot of aspects of the game, but to come out with the win is absolutely brilliant.
I mean, Gala are a good side at the moment, really, riding the kind of crest of it. We're trying to get ourselves back to a bit of form that we've shown, and I just think that we missed our specialised tight head. Gary Holborn had to call off right before the kick-off, and they threw a couple of guys in at least. And I think the scrum was the main area today where I think Gala got the edge.
Where do you see Gala now at this stage, halfway through the season, going into 2013? What do Gala have to do?
Keep on winning. We go back last season where we let ourselves down in this time of the season. So we just have to keep on going, and we learn from our mistakes and make sure that we keep on winning.
Glasgow and Edinburgh celebrated 140 years of intercity rivalry over the festive period. Glasgow won the first leg 23-14 at Scotsman and followed up with a 21-17 victory at Murrayfield to win the 1872 Cup for the fourth year in a row. We have some terrific Scotland internationalists lined up for our 5 quick questions in 2013, but we kick off the new year with one of the greatest scrum halves ever to play for Scotland, Roy Laidlaw.
My first cap was in Ireland, Lansdowne Road, and I always remember when we arrived at the ground, we went out onto the pitch as we usually do, and I was sticking close to Jim Rennick because he was very experienced, and we checked the dead ball areas and the strength of the wind, and then we were walking back up the tunnel, and in front of us was an Irish player called David Irwin, who was a big 6-footer, and I turned to Jim and said, "He's a big lad for a centre, Jim," and he replied, "Yeah, you know the saying, the harder they come, the harder they hurt you." So that put me at ease for my first cap. There was a few players around the area, scrum halves, but the one that sort of caught my eye the most was Chris Laidlaw, who played for New Zealand. I remember getting an afternoon off school to go and watch New Zealand play the South at Melrose, and I sort of followed his career right through. I think he went to study in Oxford or Cambridge, but he was he's a well-known player, famous player, famous All Black, and of course the Laidlaw name. My youngest son's actually named after him. I played in a lot of good games, but I suppose when we won the Triple Crown in Ireland, that squad of players had been together for quite a long period of time. We'd been on tour to New Zealand and Australia, and then I think 8 of us went on the Lions tour in '83. And I think because we'd actually won something, it's a mythical trophy, but the Triple Crown hadn't been won since 1938, I think. And to win something was, gave us a lot of satisfaction. And I actually scored 2 tries that day, but only lasted to half time. I got a head knock and had to be replaced by Gordon Hunter. I played against Dave Leveridge quite a lot of times, and I always thought he was the silkiest sort of scrum half. My most difficult opponent was Terry Holmes. Terry played in the early 80s and he unfortunately got a couple of bad injuries and probably had to retire sooner than he would have liked to. But Terry Holmes was a very tenacious player, was always getting at you, and I learned a few tricks from Terry. I would probably plumb for David Leslie. David, I think, grew up as a standoff and then moved to back row. And David, rose to the occasion when he was playing for Scotland. He, as well as being skillful, beautiful hands, he was an outstanding line-out forward. A number 7. He wasn't really a 7, but he made himself into one. But he was also a creative player. He had the ability to lay the ball off. And when David pulled on that blue jersey, he really went for it.
2012 might not have been a vintage year for Scottish rugby in terms of the international team and pro teams rollercoaster rides, but there was certainly plenty of talent on show. And to prove it, we've put together some of the best tries from 2012. Sit back and enjoy.
Around to Ogilvie. Ogilvie can't do much with it, and here comes a break now from Sir Talon on the far side of the field. He ain't going to be caught, this lad, and he's away. It was a mix-up from Merkiston, and in goes Sir Talon for a lifeline in this Bruin Dolphin under-16 final. It was a mix-up on the back line, and well, Sir Talon the back, he just took it on, and he was gone down that far side. And for a second rower, this lad can shift in behind the try line, and this will make the conversion a wee bit easier now for Strathallan. The ball now taken on. All good work by Rory Hutton. He's on his own at the moment. Where's he going? Breaks one tackle. Can he offload? He does now. Taken on by Sean Linton. Linton then trying to work his way up to that halfway line. Hoyk 13, Gala 24 in this Border League final at Philip Hogg. Hoyk in possession. Ball comes out to Graham Hogg. Hogg then comes out to Ryan Hogg. Ryan Hogg up to halfway to Keith Davis. Keith Davis now out to Neil Rennick. Rennick pins the ears back in that 22 and still charging in, and it's taken up by Gary Johnston, and Johnston's going to go in for the try here for Hoyk, and it's game on in this Border League final. Takers there for Gala, and again it's Curry that says thanks very much. I'll tell you what, Curry could get a try here and get a bonus point. They're on the break as Forbes now has it, and it's taken up by Dougie Fife, and Fife is going to go in, and Curry are going to go in for a fourth try, and that is going to be a crucial bonus point for them. Outside the Gala 22, the ball comes out then to George Graham, out to Sean Law. Now this boy, if he can turn around the banners, he does. He cuts inside, he's gone. Sean Law, he's up to the 22, inside past to George Graham. Graham all the way, and he goes in. What a try from Gala! He goes in to the right-hand corner. and in fact now they're going to pull it back. I think, has he going to get the try? He's going to have a word now with Alan Forrest, the assistant referee. Will the try be a word? But again, it's Sean Law. He absolutely bummed up that far side turf, and then it was George Graham that finished the move off, and I think yet the try is going to be awarded. The referee, yet try given, and what a try it was. The Gala faithful absolutely delighted. It's Gala now that lead. It's Melrose 8, it's Gala 12. Graham feeds it out wide, taken on by McQuillan then out to Lee Miller. Miller finds a gap, and Miller's through, and he's gone, and Lee Miller, what a run from him up to the 22, offloads it to Kenny, and Craig Kenny's going to go in for the try. No, he feeds it inside to George Graham, and George Graham goes in for Gala's second try. Great rugby from Gala. Gala 16, Mosley 6, but what a break from Lee Miller. What support from Craig Kenny, what a finish from George Graham. Lee Miller, he adds the extras, that now makes it Gala 18, Mosley 6.
Today we also kick off a new feature on Scotland's top 10 Premier clubs. We start with Aberdeen Grammar, and Alex Duncan, the head coach of the Rubislaw club, tells us what they're doing to promote and develop rugby in the northeast of Scotland.
I think there's a great history of rugby and rugby development in Aberdeen and the northeast of Scotland, and many people associate Aberdeen with international rugby players, with a Chris Cussita, with a Jason White, and I think we find that in Aberdeen Grammar Club has kind of been the foundation of that in the past. In the last 10, 20 years, it's been a great club, a great history of developing rugby in the north. And I think what we are looking to do now is to prolong that history and develop a new history. And I think Aberdeen perhaps represents not just Aberdeen, but the northeast of Scotland and the north of Scotland, where there's a lot of really good rugby players. But we need to be driving forward. We need to look to the future. We need to bring a new future to the rugby players in Aberdeen and the north of Scotland. And I think that's what Aberdeen Rugby is now about, is trying to promote the best, trying to get development at all levels, not just within our own area, but within the whole of the north of Scotland. The club feels it's got a responsibility for not just Aberdeen but for the north of Scotland, making sure that there's a top club in the top league. It gives that inspiration, that enthusiasm to the young players. There's lots of talent in the north of Scotland, but we need to make sure we have got a team at the top level. We've got great facilities. The Sports Village is a superb facility, but what we are trying to do is create a centre of excellence in Aberdeen to allow all these budding aspirational players to have somewhere local where they can actually go, get skilled, improve and keep trying to improve themselves.
Here we are in the Aberdeen Sports Village, the morning of the Scotland versus Tonga game, and we've got 70 odd kids coming from the north of Scotland here, Orkney and Shetland as well, and obviously the north east and over to Inverness. So the whole batch of kids full of enthusiasm, full of desire to come and play and learn about rugby, and we're delighted to be here and support that.
I grew up in Aberdeen. I spent my first 18 years here, and I started playing rugby here obviously at school at Robert Gordon's College, If it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd be playing rugby. Being outside the central belt, you obviously have to travel a lot, and that's simply the way it was. We're always getting ferried up and down the road to Edinburgh to take part in under 15, under 16 trials and all this kind of thing, and then eventually went to university in Edinburgh and was more involved in the system. But I think there's a huge amount of talent up here in Aberdeen.
I think Aberdeen's lucky because I think we've got a big hinterland. We have got clubs at different levels. Actually, everything's kind of there. We just need to come together and make sure that we're kind of all on the same page.
So that's it for another packed programme. Make sure you join us in 2 weeks' time when we'll be hearing from Scott Johnson, the new Scotland interim head coach, on why he took the job and what he's looking forward to in 2013. Bye for now.